Hey, what's going on, guys? I just wanted to give a quick, do a quick video on my experience of going from a crop sensor to a full frame. I've gone from a D90, Nikon D90 to the Nikon D610, going from a crop sensor to the full frame. People have asked me, have you noticed a difference? Do you see do you see any reason why you needed to upgrade to a full camera, full frame camera? Short answer is absolutely yes. I can see a difference, and it's actually mind-blowing. I was really happy with my crop sensor, my D90. I've had it now for about 7-8 years, whatever. It's never let me down. I've never had any complaints. I have been in a few situations where I said, you know what, it'd be nice to really have slightly better ISO capability. But I'd shoot at 1250, even 1600 ISO, and be fairly satisfied with the image with very minimal post-processing. With the D610, I've gone all the way up to about 3200, and I mean, you almost don't have to touch it at all. Of course, this means that you need to shoot in RAW. I'm not sure why people continue to shoot JPEG if they're going to manipulate the image in any way. It just doesn't make any sense to do that. If you're going to change the picture, if you're going to edit it, if you're going to manipulate it any way, whether it's HDR, increasing saturation and contrast, brightness, all of that stuff, even minimal things, you know, like cropping and so forth, do yourself a favor and shoot in RAW. When you shoot in JPEG, basically you're throwing probably a good 50 to 60% of the information that image contains. You're just throwing it away. You got it. Use it. Why wouldn't you shoot RAW? Yes, the file size is bigger, but if you're going to do some editing, who cares if the file size is bigger? If you're running out of space, get a bigger memory card. Download more often. Most people I find who complain about the file size, they have all of their images on this one SD card. They never download the images. They never format the card and use it for something else. They just expect this, you know, 4 gigabyte card to last forever. And with today's technology and camera digital technology and so forth, 4 gigabytes is going to go by pretty fast. I mean, you can go a day at the zoo and blow 4 gigabytes easily. Okay. Now, what is the big difference between the crop sensor and the full frame? Basically, and this is the easiest way I can explain it, crop sensor, full frame. Crop sensor, full frame. Okay. Now, other than me just doing my hands like this, it may not tell you much until you realize in between my fingers, that little hole right there that you're looking at me through right now, that's your crop sensor. That is your entire picture. Right now, all you can see is this part of my face between my hands. Okay. On a full frame, if I go full frame from a crop sensor and I gain this much more space, look how much more of my face you can see. And who wouldn't want to see this face? I mean, come on, let's face it. Anyway, you get this much more in your shot. Same shot. The camera has not moved. I have not moved. The distance from the camera to the subject has not changed at all. But look at the difference. Here and here. That's the most basic way, easiest way I can explain that. It's like, do you want 1 cup or 2 cups? You know, you get your favorite ice cream. You want 1 small bowl or you want 1 big bowl? That's the difference between the crop sensor and the full frame. And I'll be honest with you, I mean, I've been shooting the crop sensor for years now, and I've never really felt the urge and the need to upgrade to the full frame. But guess what? As of Wednesday of last week, I am really, really, really glad that I upgraded to the Nikon D610. It's like night and day. Can you stay crop sensor and still do professional work? Absolutely, and many people do it. And don't let anyone tell you that it can't be done. You do not need a full frame digital SLR to compete with the pros. However, their pictures are going to be a lot brighter. They're going to get some angles that you just can't get with a crop sensor. Their resolution and the megapixel quality is going to be better. Do you need it? No. But guess what? You should want it. And now that I have tasted what the big boys have, I now see the difference. So what am I going to do with the D90? I'm still going to shoot with it. This is an awesome camera. I've got probably 60 to 70,000 shutter actuations on this thing, and she's still going strong. She has never let me down before, ever. But I am so happy that I got my D610, and I just can't imagine why I... Well, yeah, I can. You know what? It was the price. The price tag really frightened me. We've all got bills, we've all got other obligations and priorities that we have to take care of. You know, you may not have an extra $2,000 to throw at a camera, but guess what? You hit a wedding off, that camera just paid for itself. So I mean, you can justify it one way or the other. Long story short, I just didn't know I needed to, or I didn't know the difference, because I still won't subscribe to the theory that you need to be full frame. But I will say, if you're going to stay crop sensor, and it's fine if you do, but if you're going to stay crop sensor, get yourself some good glass. The lens on that camera is what's going to make or break you. It's got nothing to do with the camera to a certain extent, but if you got some good glass on a crappy camera body, you are in the game. You're not going to miss a beat if you've got good glass. You can have crappy glass on a good DSLR body and produce mediocre pictures. The glass is where it's at. It's in the lens. It's in the lens. It's in the lens. You have to get that in your head. Forget who's got the D this, who's got the D this, the S this, the A this. It doesn't matter what piece of glass you have attached to the end of that camera. That is what is going to separate you from the rest of the people. Get a lens. If you're going to do portraits, get a lens that is designed for portraits. Yes, they cost money, but guess what? If you're charging for your services, and if you're calling yourself a professional, I certainly hope you are. Even if you're cheaper than everybody else, that's fine. But take that money and invest it in your camera, invest it in your craft, into your business, and build. I am kicking myself for waiting so long to get behind this full frame extravaganza. I mean, I'm just so happy I've done it. Right now I'm shooting this video on the Nikon D610. I do not have an external mic on. This is the mic that is built into the camera that's picking up my voice. Hopefully you can hear me loud and clear. I've got a big mouth, so I'm probably not the one to really test out a microphone and whether or not it's as sensitive as people say it is. But I'm impressed with it so far. I have no complaints. All fairness, I have no complaints on my D90 either. But if I had to choose going into a shootout, do I want a D90 or my D610? My D610 is going to win every single time. Every single time. It's just, I won't say that it's better. I'm going to say it's better. And when I say it's better but not better, what I mean is, if all you have is a crop sensor camera will get the job done. All right? People take photographs. Cameras don't. If you learn your settings, you know how to manipulate those settings. You got people taking really stunning images with iPhones now. And as great as iPhones are, there is no way that you should be able to outperform any DSLR with an iPhone. You shouldn't be able to do it if you know what you're doing. Yes, you may run into some issues with the megapixels and so forth, but even with that, shooting in manual mode or aperture or shutter priority mode, you should be able to overcome some of those boundaries. Shoot in RAW and do some post-processing. Go full frame. I say all this to say, go full frame. If you can fork out the money to go full frame, by all means, do it. This is not anything slight towards the crop sensors, because I absolutely love mine. My D90 is not going anywhere. I will keep this and keep using it until it drops, until it dies. And even then I might buy another one, because the D90 is that good. The D7000, the D7100 is that good. The D7100 has the 24 megapixels, same as this camera that I'm shooting this video on, the D610. They both have 24 megapixels. Put a good piece of glass on there and most people can't tell the difference. And so if you can't really tell the difference without close examination, you know, do maybe you don't want to spend all that money on a piece of glass or on a new body. You know, put it in a piece of glass. As long as it gets the job done, you're in the ball game, and that's all that matters. If you can produce a quality image on a Polaroid, by all means do it, but make sure it's a good image. All right, this is Harry Fish signing off. Just wanted to spend a few minutes with you guys, just shooting the breeze, nothing formal, nothing technical. Just wanted to give you my observation on why you need to go from a crop sensor to a full frame, or stay at crop sensor and put a piece of glass, a good piece of glass, on that crop sensor camera. All right, signing off. Talk to you later. Peace.